with your point a little bit. Go ahead, Q.
Okay. But I'm not speaking to that, right? I'm speaking to the question.
Yeah. That was just me.
Now that's dope. I fuck with it. Um, yeah. Ironically, I agree with some of what Asia was putting down, and I think that having marriage counseling or some type of counseling has its benefits. I see where Mary's coming from with, like, putting two people together, and it's going to be that experience that's really going to teach you how that's going to go. But I think what ends up happening and why you see those divorce rates so high is because people don't know what to expect when expecting. Like, so to Hamp's point, it's like, I'm supposed to be happy every day.
Mhm.
They're in this fantasy, like the Disney movie marriage. And if there was something that would show them the difference between a toxic situation, a non-toxic situation, an argument that has substance that could be trauma based, a argument that may lead to some shit that's gonna be the worst thing for your marriage, and having that kind of, like, I don't know what to call it, but some type of blueprint. I think that would be so beneficial to people, because I think what you end up seeing is you see people who stay in relationships for too long that are very toxic, that have no benefit, that are not going to go anywhere. And then those end up blowing up in a divorce, or people who walk away from something prematurely that was beneficial because they saw things that they thought were toxic or no good for them. So, um, now, as far as like it being a benefit to get married early on, I don't know in our society now, with the way that the economy is, that it would benefit either person in that couple to be married young. You could disagree with me on this, but I think getting to the bag and getting something established early would be a bigger benefit. Um, but obviously having some balance in there, to where if you do want to have children, you're not like right on that threshold of, now I can't have any child because, you know my health doesn't allow for it. So I think it's a way to balance that. But like if you're like 21 to 25, I don't think you need to be tied up in no marriage. Like that's a heavy thing to take on so early on, in my opinion, and that comes somewhat from experience as well. Um, when you say restoring the family structure, what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean like
Oh,
if two people fucked and they had a baby, they need to be married, they need to stay together?
yeah. So, wife, husband, children, together, one house, no bastard children.
Hmm.
That structure.
Right. Okay. Now again, that's something that I have to disagree with, just because I'm gonna try to say this from a realistic perspective, right? In a perfect world, that would be ideal. If the first person you ever laid with, you stayed with. But because that's not usually how things work, um, I think that child needs that both parents in their life, but to force those two people to have a union, to make a family out of that, I don't think that's beneficial. Again, I think it goes back to, now you're probably gonna have that shit end in divorce, because you were too you weren't doing it responsibly to begin with, right? I think if you're going about it the right way, you're probably gonna have the family structure first, and then the babies after.
Yeah,
You have the baby first, fuck it, throw the whole shit away.
yeah. But I think people, we look at sex as just for recreation, and I feel like we got the game fucked up. You know,
So is
and
sex only for to procreate, not for recreation?
procreation is the main objective,
Mhm.
and
But
then
what if,
we
but wait,
we
so there's women out there and men that can't have kids. So what does that mean? They don't have the privilege to have sex?
I'm saying what the main function of it is.
Right. So when you don't have that function at all, you
Get
still
married,
are
get
legally.
married, and have sex with the person you married with.
I didn't hear you.
You still shouldn't be fickle with it. Is all I'm saying. So if we looked at it as a reason to have children, would we be so fickle? Would it be so fickle and just superficial just to have sex?
And it's not just to make love to the person that you love and want to
No,
be. I'm asking.
well,
I'm really
yeah,
asking.
yeah,
Is
your
that
husband and wife. Yeah, I mean, and if you use the good, what I think is a good book, they be getting it popping. Solomon be eating cheeks and all that.
okay?
He be getting
Let me stay
dome and
focused.
everything.
Let me
So
stay
that's
focused on that.
definitely a part of it. I'm just saying that's definitely a part of it. But that's with his wife though. You know
He
what I
had like
mean?
100. He had 1,000 wives.
700. So
Okay, close to 700,000.
shout out to Solomon. But yeah, so with
So
us,
go ahead.
go ahead.
I
I want
just
to get
I don't know.
sister in. Go ahead.
Oh, assistant talked
No,
enough.
go ahead.
So I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's so clinical and so, I don't know, sterile for it to be for procreation. That's the primary function. Because, like I said, there's people that can't have children. Men can have, some women can't have kids, some women can't have kids, fine. And like I said before in previous podcasts, not everybody wants to have kids. So that's a whole other topic for a different day. I just want to see where your thoughts are where it came to having sex, because you're saying it is to procreate. So if you cannot procreate, do you believe it is not a privilege you should indulge in if you can't procreate because or
I
don't
just
want to procreate?
it just ill like you have to answer for some outliers,
Yeah.
right? The majority of people is what we talking about. So the outliers, yeah, become a eunuch. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But just in terms of the people having babies, sex that's the primary function. That's it, right? And there's pleasure in it, of course,
Mhm,
right? That's what makes it so difficult to not have sex,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
right?
I just
Without
want to know your
intention.
thoughts. I just want to know what your thoughts were on that. That's all. It wasn't a right or
Mhm.
wrong answer. I just want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I got you. You know.
And remember, a while back at your career, we had a conversation about marriage,
Hmm.
and one of our boys was like, his parents had a bad year. You know, they had a whole year where they could not connect, and they stayed
Yeah.
together. And I think about that today. Like, imagine if you,
Yeah.
fellas, here, if you had a bad year, would you still stay in that marriage? You know,
Yeah. Damn,
it's
that's I
that was
remember that.
profound. When he said that, I was like, why? Because it goes to show like they saw the bigger picture, and I think that people can get married young. It requires a lot of grace, and the reality, 20 years from now, you may not like the person that they've grown into, but it's just understanding that you enter into a marriage, and you're going to continue to work at it. And I believe in marriage. I believe in working at problems, and I don't believe in quitting when it gets hard. But that's not
Mm,
everybody.
yeah.
I
Drugs. Sis. Final thought.
Just have a good night, everybody. Um, I guess I'll see you next Tuesday.
Word. Mary.
We need to keep trying to build stronger Black families to help our Black little boys and girls.
Word. Ro.
The remedy to fix the Black community is to teach our children about the country that they live in and how to survive in it.
Mm, word. Q.
I'm with a Black woman for real. My baby chocolate. Y'all be safe.
Word.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
my bad. Go ahead.
Nate's like, ha ha, I know that's right. Big up. My final thought is Black people open a book, read, educate yourself, understand politics, understand legislation, understand your people, understand who you are, understand where you came from so you can know where you're going. Just educate yourself. Education is so pivotal, so that you can break the shackles of your mind off.
Word. Mike.
We have everything we need as a community to succeed. We got Black colleges, Black banks, chambers of commerce, businesses, apps, politicians, and it's really just we need to start supporting each other and being unapologetically Black.
Word. Mr. White.
Let's continue to improve our communication with each other. Let's continue to show each other grace, because Black men are worth it, Black women are worth it, and together there's nothing we can't do.
Yeah, man. 100% agreed, man. I think all the sentiments tonight were valid because they a lot of people provided some substantive thought behind them, regardless if you agree or not. Right? I think entertainment is in disagreement, but at the end of the day, you still gotta hear it. I think that's the key. Yeah, so I know Adrian touched on it, but I don't think the church is the answer. But if we can agree on a particular set of instructions, I think we would be much better off. I'll give you guys one gem. You could throw it out if you want to. If you go to Exodus 22, verse 16, sex is marriage. I wish I would have known that before I start busting all these chicks down. It's a lot of them too.
Shit like that. Shit
So,
like that. Shit like that.
Imagine
shit
how
like
much
that,
different
shit like
life would be if we all knew that and conducted ourselves in that way. You feel me? Just a little something. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We out.